Well, hey everybody. Good morning. Happy Friday. I am just going to give you guys just a minute to jump on the live call and we will get started because I know that some of you are just getting added to the group, right? So you're probably just getting this notification that we're live. So I just want to welcome you guys here. Yay. All right. I see some people starting to jump on. Good morning. Hi, Nina. Hi, Mindy. Hey, Mindy, it's good to see you. And Emily, good morning, guys. All right, so hopefully that everything sounds good. Hopefully you guys can see this. So let's get started, right? I'm Melanie, in case you don't know me. I just want to give you a quick welcome to the group. And I am so excited to be doing this 12-month group with you guys. I think I'm just as excited to get to mastermind and learn from you because you guys are the up-and-coming leaders of the Team Beachbody organization. And so, even as a leader, I like to keep myself fresh too. So use this group as a great resource and it's just a great mastermind and learn from one another. But remember, we're all running our own race, right? And so make sure that as I go through today and I go through the information that I'm going to share with you, that you remember, you don't have to do everything that I am doing, right? I want you to look at this strategizing and planning session from the higher level and say, okay, I need to create a plan for me. I need to create a plan for my business, right? That fits my priorities. It fits my goals. It fits the amount of time that I want to put into my business, the points and the income and all of that great stuff, right? So take the higher level portion of this and then you're going to create your own based on this. All right. So some of my team has already seen me do this a few times, so I'm sure they can kind of give you some feedback. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip my screen here in just a minute. So before I do that, guys, one of the things I do this week, this is the last week of January, and I do this at the end of every single month. And I actually started thinking about it at the end of last week. What groups, what trainings, what challenge groups, what free groups, what incentives, what things do I want to do as far as team calls, what things do I want to do as far as trainings go, when am I going to run challenge groups? And I start to just sort of scratch it out on a sheet of paper, right? So I think about what is February going to look like? And so I get out a calendar. And one of the things I did is I just take my Google Calendar and I just screenshot that. And then I take it over into PicMonkey and I write on it and I start to plug in the things that I want to do for the month. And this has become something that I can share with my team and teach them how to duplicate that same thing. So if you don't have a plan for your business, right? If you are waking up every day and you are just winging it, if you are just coming up with posts on the fly, if you are just randomly starting challenge groups, that's not very duplicatable, right? Every single business needs to have a plan. We have to have a business plan. And we have to know why we're doing what we're doing and that the behaviors that we're putting into place, our goal is to get to a certain desired action. So before we start this, I want you to ask yourself, what's the desired outcome that I want to have on the last day of February? What do I hope to achieve? And so ask yourself, what are my personal goals? What are my personal Success Club point goals? What is my personal income, my personal volume goals? What is my recruiting goals? Like how many coaches do I want to recruit? Get out that elite goal guide and start to look at that and say, okay, how did January go? Did I recruit what I expected to recruit? Do I have coaches that are hitting Success Club? Am I starting over again? How did I spend my time in January? And so give yourself time to reevaluate and say, okay, this is what went well. This is what didn't go well. And then you look at February and you set goals for yourself and you write them down. Write down your goals and then you say to yourself, okay, how am I going to get to that goal? How am I going to get to that desired outcome? And this is where you begin to write down the things that you're going to do for the month. All right. So for example, in the month of February, I sat down and I did this. I know that my personal goal is to recruit 10 coaches. And I'm only telling you that just to tell you what I do. Not that you have to set the same goals, but that's my recruiting goal, right? So and it's not discount coaches, it's working coaches. So I separate the buckets, right? There's no such thing in my mind. You're either a customer or a working coach, right? So I have that bucket. Then I say to myself, okay, how many Success Club points do I want to get from challengers? And I actually always try to outdo the month before. I try to get as many as I can. I never stop at Success Club 10. The sky is the limit. If I can get as many as I can, then that's great, right? Because my customers are my base of referrals and success stories and credibility and future coaches, right? So I always look at it that way. I know that I always, every single month, have to expand my market in order to have more people to invite to my team, have more people to invite to my challenge group. So those are things that I am thinking about. Another thing that I do is I put a sticky note on my computer, and I always write down at the end of every month how many likes I have on my like page and my Instagram. And then I challenge myself to say, can I get X amount more likes this month? 500 new likes or 1,000 new likes on my like page. And it helps me to generate and create posts that people are going to share or people are going to interact with. And so it makes me accountable to the number to show growth or no growth. Okay. So those are other things. Also, we have Team Cup that's coming up. So what are you going to do for your Team Cup? Have you thought about all the new coaches that have decided to run a Team Cup? You know, so often we're like, yep, I got my Cup team. I'm ready to go. I'm not worrying about anybody else except for myself, right? But here's the bottom line. You know, we have to look at those new coaches that have never ran a cup before, and we've got to think about, okay, what potential obstacles might they have, right? What do they know how to run a cup team? Do they know how to set up a call? Do they know how to schedule weekly calls? Do they know how to set goals? So a lot of my groups and calls and things that I'm running throughout the month of February are circled around not just making sure I got my crap together, but my whole organization feels comfortable in the same way. All right. So those are the things that I'm thinking about. I'm anticipating obstacles. I'm anticipating, and you guys know this, right? By week 2 and week 3 of Team Cup, what happens? People fade. People get they're like, it's just Team Cup and no big deal. And so I know midway through the month, I've got to pump people back up again. So I'm anticipating that as the CEO of the dream team, I am thinking about not just myself, but about the other people that are a part of my team too. All right. Okay. So now that we've got that figured out, let's flip this around. And let me just adjust here. Hopefully you guys can see my screen good enough. I don't think you can make it bigger, huh? Okay, so you guys should be able to see my screen. Now, guys, like I said, you can honestly just go and grab your Google Calendar and screenshot it. This is PicMonkey, so this is what I use to make this. Hold on, I'm just moving it down so that, sorry, I know I'm probably making your poor eyeballs go crazy, right? Okay, so this is my marketing calendar. So what I do, like I said, guys, is I sit down and I start to kind of put things onto the calendar, right? And so if you look here, I'm going to run, I start all of my new coach trainings, right? On the first Monday of every month. So I put that in there. And then I usually, and you can see I wrote New Coach University, and I usually do like a 4 vital behaviors, and I do an Emerald to Diamond group, right? And last month I did a Revive because a lot of people came out of the woodworks and were like, I want to work my business again. And so, but this month I'm not doing that. I decided to change it up because like us all, I get bored, and I'm bored. I was bored with the 4 vital behaviors. I'm bored with Emerald to Diamond. Like I'm just bored with it. And I wanted to switch it up. So I decided to do these 4 weeks of training, right? And so what I did was I have different topics, and it's gonna be a 1-week training on different topics that I think people will need for the cup. And then I just created one closed Facebook group, and then I took my team and I said, hey guys, I have this idea. Let's brainstorm some ideas. We can each take a week or take posts, and let's focus on things that, you know, new coaches struggle with, like how to create good social media posts and how to have a good profile and how to create an event, you know, for your next challenge group, and how to create really good jabs and how to follow up and how to invite, right? So I have these training weeks, and it's one group, but it will just change. Each week will be a different topic, and anybody in our organization can join. And so it, number one, takes the stress load off of me and kind of divvies it up among us all. All right. So, so this, I guess you guys can see if I just use my mouse here. So I've got those, I plugged those right into my calendar. That also makes me start to think now, like right now I'm planning for that. I know that's what I want to do, and I'm planning ahead. I'm talking to coaches. I'm asking them if they want to speak, right? Also, we're doing like a little dream team surge on the 5th. I put that on there, and I even put when I'm going to be away, like I'm out of the office. Now, over here, I'm running on the 13th a free group. I really believe in the power of free groups. Free groups work and they're extremely effective at helping you expand your market, but I only do them for 7 days only. And I change the topic every month. And I try to think about what things that people might be struggling with at the given moment. I look at the season, I look at my market, I look at who I attract, and then I create a free group for those people. I make it an event that I can invite to. So I put that on the calendar. That's going to start on the 13th. But the thing about making a marketing calendar is this. It also makes you think, okay, if I'm going to run this free group, I know that at least 7 days before the free group starts, I need to advertise for it. So you can see up here on the 5th, I write launch ad for the free group. Right? So I want to make sure that the ad goes out and the event goes out on Sunday. So I am going to schedule in my calendar, block off an hour to sit down and make that image. So it helps me to also plan my week and my time, right? So this is good time management. So I do that on the 5th. And then what I do is you see I have free group jabs. So if you've read Gary Vaynerchuk's book, right? You know that the jabs and the right hook. So the jabs are like the daily posts that I am putting out there in order to get people to join. So what I'm doing is if I'm launching this free group, then every single day I have a jab that I'm coming up with. Why do I put that in there? Because now it makes me sit down and think about what are those posts going to be? What am I going to post about? And then I can plan that stuff out too. All right. So I will do these jabs this whole week and then the free group will start here. Then I know that I'm going to run a challenge group and that's going to start on the 20th. The challenge group, I would encourage you to even know what the name and the title and the reason why you're running that challenge group, right? So I have my challenge group starts. I already have a name for it. I know what the theme is going to be for that group. But again, I need to back up 5 to 7 days, and you can see on the 11th, that Saturday morning, I will schedule an hour to create the event, to create the advertisement, to make the banner, to come up with my challenge group jabs right here, right? So this will be my planning time on Saturday the 11th. That goes in my calendar. I block it out so that I know that's when it needs to be done by. Then the free group's running, but I'm talking about the challenge group. And that's perfect timing because all those people in that free group are now seeing me talk about this next step that they could take. So that's how I'm going to transition. Hopefully, I'll be happy if I get a few people from the free group into the regular group, right? So then you can see my challenge group's going to start on the 20th. I run my challenge groups the third Monday of every month because I run my Coach University the first Monday of the month. I know from past experiences that new coaches are very timid about running their own challenge groups. So what I do is I say, hey guys, this is the date my next group starts. You can be an apprentice in my next challenge group and invite people to join. If they purchase the challenge pack, I'll add you, I'll add them, and we can co-run it together, right? I'll do the posts, you check in with your challengers. So this, basically, they're mimicking my plan. I'm teaching them to do what I'm doing, and I'm doing it right alongside of them. So I'm practicing what I'm preaching because it's in line with what I'm already doing. So it's just natural. I'm not creating more work for myself, all right? I'm working off of my own schedule. So I've got the challenge group start date here. You can also see the biggest thing, this is where people kind of peter out, and this is very important to you guys. So you need all of these elements in your business, right? So you need to run challenge groups, but you have to make sure you aren't always defaulting to challenge groups, that you're focused on the business. So I'm going to do a business opportunity event, a sneak peek business opportunity call. That will happen on the 22nd, right? And so I put that on there. And what I do is I go back, and I don't do 5 to 7 days for this one because I really talk about coaching for a full 2 weeks. So I'll explain what I'm doing. All right. So I launch my invite for the business opportunity event. So I, again, mark out time on Saturday morning where I create the event. I invite my team. They can invite anybody that they want. I send out emails to all my current customers. I post it in my challenge groups, I post it on my wall, and then again, I do the same thing. I make jabs for the business opportunity. That's the one post a day. My jab has a call to action. It is when people would look at my social media, they would know I'm a coach, and they would know either I'm advertising for a free group, the challenge group, or the business opportunity. Like, you would be able to see that. That's what the jab means. So I will talk about the business opportunity until the 22nd. Once the business opportunity is over, the next step is to get people into my next coach training that's going to happen that first Monday of March. So I'm going to continue to talk about the business all the way until that. So a full 2 weeks of daily jabs about the business, trying to advertise to get people in. All right. So that the next round and the next marketing calendar will come out in March. Does that make sense? So I put this all on the calendar. Kim, do they have to bring a challenge to join your group as an apprentice? Yep, they can join alone. So maybe Kim, the new coach, has never been through a challenge group before, right? So either way, regardless, every new coach of mine goes into a challenge group. My challenge groups are also open to my coaches. If they just want to continue with accountability, absolutely. My coaches get first dibs to be a part of my challenge groups if they need that support. All right. Okay, so the next thing that I do when I'm done with this is, because it's a PicMonkey image, now I can upload this into my team page. And so what I do is I go into my personally sponsored coach page and I post this image. And then I make a video, just like I'm making you guys a video. I narrate to them why I'm doing what I'm doing, how I'm anticipating the trends of February to be, and I am encouraging my coaches to go and make a marketing calendar of their own, post it in the comments. I'd be glad to give them feedback. And then this is where I can see if people are scheduling things the right way. I can see who is, who's thinking about their business. You could even encourage them to, like, in one of these empty blanks, put their goals for the month, like, SC10 and Sign 2 coaches and Advanced to Emerald. So you could even have them put their goals on there as well. And then you can print this out, and this is something you can keep in your office. And then what this calendar does is it helps me to dictate what my posts are going to look like. So I have a plan. When I sit down at the computer each day, I have a plan. I know what response I'm trying to elicit from my followers on social media. And it helps me to be a little more focused and driven in that right direction. All right. Andrea, no, I do not limit the number in my challenge groups. I don't. But I will tell you that in the past, I have let everybody be like a coach. Like, if a coach wanted to invite their 5 customers into my challenge group, and sometimes I'll have like 5 or 6 coaches that are quote unquote co-running, but it gets crazy and the challengers don't know who's in charge. So unless it's just you and one other person, I only keep myself as the coach. They are just a participant. So they can't see all the stuff that I can see, but it keeps it a little more organized. And that's just how I personally, and that was from the feedback that I got from my customers when I ran it with like 10 coaches co-hosting it. It was way too crazy. All right. Okay. So I am going to upload my image of the marketing calendar for you all. Hold on, let me just adjust this so that you guys can see it. And I encourage you guys to take the time right now and make sure that you guys set up your calendars, you share it with your team, you make the video for your team. Like, don't miss these steps. The part of this business that, we're trying to get to that leadership role, and duplication is really important. But duplication happens when you explain why you're doing what you're doing and you lead from the front. Like, everything that I'm putting on this calendar, I'm not just putting it on there just to put it on there. Like, I will actually do all of these things. So, the first month people might watch me and then they may not do it. But then maybe month 2, month 3, month 4, they might start to pick it up and they might start to keep going. So anyway, so that's kind of the game plan. I'm teaching this again at the New Leader Conference. So if you are going to the New Leader Conference, you're going to hear me talk about it again. So I'm sorry. I'll try to make it different and spice it up a little bit. But I will tell you, this is huge. This has been huge for my team. This has been huge to keep us organized. I feel like a lot of times we're just like, pew, pew, pew. We've got stuff going on all over the place and we got to rein it in and keep ourselves organized. Otherwise, our minds will take over and we become paralyzed by all of the ideas because they don't have a place and a time. All right, Andrea, yes, I do run ads to Facebook events and promote within the event. Yes, so I do. And I didn't at first, but now I do. I will run an ad. I won't promote the event, but but I will promote an ad. So I would promote an ad for my challenge group. I would promote an ad for coaching at the same time that I was also doing these jabs. So, you know, that's the power of the advertisements. An ad just is an ad. It gets eyes on your stuff, but it's the jabs and the posts that you do that correlate with the ads you put out there that get people to say, okay, this girl knows what she's talking about. You know, I like her style, I like her personality, and now I think I will join. All right? Okay, perfect. Anything else? Any other questions you guys have about this topic? I am happy to help. And like I said, I will upload this into the files section for you guys too, so that you can go and create your own. Hi, Kendra. Planning out your month. Yep. Good. Good. It does. It makes you more legit as a leader, right? So, and two, when you're doing this, here's another thing. Reiterate your vision. Reiterate what your goals are for your team this year. Reiterate, you know, just reinvigorate that passion in your team so that they know, you know, that you're going to lead them, that you're going to guide them, and that you want your team, even if it's a baby team, to have confidence in your leadership. And confidence in leadership comes with organization, comes with having a plan, because people want to know that if they're going to follow you, that you have a direction and you know where you're going, right? And so this is one of those things of good leadership. All right. You know, I run free groups at the beginning of the month, guys, because, and to answer that question, I run the free groups at the beginning of the month because that's going to be my feeder into my challenge group that happens the third week of the month. So I'm working on getting those Success Club points out of the way the first half of the month. So by the 20th, I should be well on my way for challenge groups. Where do I post this? Where do I post my marketing plan or my challenge groups? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Nina. I post, do you invite your coaches to bring clients to free groups? Nicole, no, I don't. I encourage my coaches to do their own free groups. I feel like this is my funnel. I don't want to messy it up by having other people in there. I just don't want to blur those lines. So I teach my team how to run free groups. I give them the scripts, but I do not mix those two together. I just don't. All right. All right, guys, I will let you guys go. I hope you have a wonderful Friday. And if you want, just go ahead and comment below when you make your plan. Any questions you have, just tag me. I'll go through and read them all and help you guys out as much as I can. So, all right, guys, have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I will see you guys later. Bye, everybody.